Denisha here from Water to Spirit. I am the founder, I am the CEO. And remember, healing is revolutionary. And if no one told you today, you are special, strong, and you did nothing wrong. I wanted to just talk a little bit about how I had to um, be intentional about healing and forgiving the and accepting and the absence of my father, my biological father, and the trauma of my stepfather, to be able to be loved by um, a man that God sent me, who is my husband, who is my number one supporter, who is the personification of love. And there aren't enough words in my lexicon to describe how even being loved by him has given me surrender. And I'm not talking about submission. I'm talking about just an authority, a surrender, a posture, a celebration, again, I don't have the words. It's just very beautiful. And I just wanted to say that father wounds are very real. Um, I wasn't, as we all know from previous videos and why Water to Spirit was created in the first place, I was never loved as a child. The first time that I was loved was when I surrendered to my trauma. And what I mean by surrendering is not just laying flat on the ground and just saying take over. It was a surrendering of my ego. It was a surrendering of, I had to understand that the pain, I had to understand that the pain, sorry, someone just called me, his sister actually, which is my sister, the pain that had caused me to never be protected. I wasn't protected. I wasn't loved. And this is just facts, before he came into my life. And my best friend as well. And my sentinel who's over here asleep. Remember the previous video I said he wasn't going to be on the couch when I record. I won that battle, right? When he came into my life, it was at the apex of my trauma. I was in a relationship with someone I shouldn't have been in a relationship with. My child transitioned, and I wasn't optimal with my spiritual health, my emotional health, my physical health was incredible. My mental health was not. God needed my attention. And when I met him, he told me, God told me to take care of you. I said, you have a good night. God told you to take care of me. Where the hell was God when this was happening to me? Where in the hell was God when this, and this, and this? And it got to a point where I said, why are you always talking to me about God? He's like, I'm just telling you who you are to him instead of what the world says you are, you know? So I realized that I enjoyed his mind. So forgiving, so back to forgiving and accepting and acknowledging the pain of the absence of my father and the pain of the presence of a male that was in the home that wasn't a man, which is my mother's husband, which was my stepdad, is my stepdad, to be loved properly by him. To acknowledge that pain and that trauma, I had to accept that there were things that hurt me. I had to accept that there were relationships that I have had with men that were not optimal to who I am today, would never be in and would never accept. But what a lot of people don't understand is relationships that you have been in was a and is a result of where you are mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And when he came into my life, I felt a fear because I've never met anyone like him before. He kept his word. He was present. He would take me to my therapy appointments. He would, and I was like, what do you want from me? He's like, I just want you to get well. He is the first person that ever loved me, and he is the first person that I can say, the first man that I've ever loved. And he never tried to control or change me. He just accepts me for who I am, all of my idiosyncratic behavior. You know, he is a lion, don't get it twisted. You know, as much as I am, you know, he has a quiet authority about him. So when he addresses an issue, I put the proper weight on what he says, because if he's bringing it to my attention, it's something to acknowledge. I have experienced with him a love I can't put into words. And I recently found a video that I did February of last year when I actually had my locks, and I'm gonna put it in right here at 7:25. Hey, so I'm looking rough, but I believe in being authentic. I was just sitting here and I was thinking, everything that I have been through with the child abuse, the trafficking, everything. Last night, I went to bed before my husband, which is rare because I'm always up, because I always have rapid thoughts and things I can be doing better or things that need to be done. And I felt him get in the bed. I was still asleep though, but I still felt him getting in the bed. He wrapped his arm around me and I never felt so safe. So protected. So blessed. So loved. Everything that I'm going through right now, everything I'm fighting for right now, just to know that he's there. You can't tell me God doesn't love me.
Um, I wrote this poem a while ago where it's like 5 years old and know every sexual position and know that my mouth was used more than just words. Never experiencing love, protection. Never thought I would either. But when he put his arms around me and I just inhaled and exhaled, and it just felt so good. And I said, thank you. It is beautiful to know I have a strong man of God, strong faith, to stand behind me, to stand beside me, to stand in front of me, and to just be there. And I'm thankful for him. And I just thank God for him too. So I want to make this video to let everybody else know that you may have been through some shit. You may have gone through a lot in your life, but there is somebody out there that will love you. He has been patient with me, and he too has experienced a love that he's never had before. And I think that is just so beautiful.
Now that you saw the video, I just remember that moment that when he put his arm around me, it was a surrender, it was a safety, it was a listen. We were created with from the Word of God, and I come from his rib. And knowing that I come from his rib, I am equally yoked to him. And to know a protection and to know a love and advocacy, he has adjusted a crown that I didn't even know was there. And I thank God for him. I'm learning to have harmony within the way that I love. I can be hard, but I know I can be soft. There are people in my life that deserve my softness, and he is definitely one of them. And I wrote him a poem one time. I told him that I like to lay my head on his chest to count the seconds between when he inhales and when he exhales. And he regulates my nervous system. It was like something like that. But we got married October 4th, which is actually the transition date of my third great grandmother, Lucinda Cofield. I heard the ancestors celebrating our union, and I don't care what anyone says. There could be a man that looks like Samson, okay, can look like Anthony Joshua. I am safe in his presence. I am loved, and I love him. And he has experienced a love from me as well that I didn't even know that I was capable of giving. Having to forgive the people who have hurt me, the men in particular, meant that I could not bring that trauma into my relationship and project it onto him because he didn't deserve it. It meant that I needed to be in therapy to recognize triggers, to recognize what love truly looked like, what love should actually feel like. And scripture says, love your wife like I love the church. And I would have to say that is something that he has done. And I have been able to become more of who I am supposed to be because his love was healing me and still is to this day. Today, for example, I have an EMDR session on the boogeyman, which is my oldest brother who trafficked me. And I'm not going in there alone. My husband's going to be sitting right there with me. Even though it's very difficult for him, he's there with me. He's there for me. All he asks for is reciprocity, and that is love too, right? So I just wanted to just let y'all know that you can experience a love you deserve, a love that doesn't have to be earned. You don't have to earn love. You don't have to prove love. You are made in love and you were created from love. And to understand that comes with a boundary of what you will accept and what you won't accept. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I'm telling y'all, just because you've been violated, defiled, dehumanized, whatever, know that there is someone that will love you and you could love and gives you grace and mercy and a patience that only can come from God. That's what I say. He's the weatherman, y'all. I want to thank him for just loving me and letting me love him and learning from him and teaching him, being taught by him. See, again, it's reciprocity. We see so many things that are negative about relationships in this society. People podcast and things like that. Submission is something we have to do with God. And a husband submits to his wife and a wife submits to her husband. And submission doesn't mean whatever you tell me to do, I do. No, that's not what it is. It's an understanding that our relationship starts with God. Again, I don't really know where I'm going with this video, but I just wanted to give him a shout out and just let y'all know that no matter how hurt you have been, you deserve real love. All right. Happy Tuesday, and you're special, you're strong, and you did nothing wrong.